You got to bring the dark. You got to bring the good. You got to bring the bad. You have to have conversations with those skeletons in your closets. They know you better than you know yourself.
Storm.
How y'all feeling on this Monday? I'm ready to get the day started, man. I think today is going to be a good day. We're going to have some good trade opportunities. So let's get with it. First thing we're going to do is first order of business. We got to get the live out. So let's get the live going. All right, man. How y'all doing on today? It's Monday. Y'all gotta be excited, man. You gotta be happy to be here. First and foremost, man, shout out to everybody who is putting in that effort, man, on a Monday. I know it's hard to wake up and get up and be active, right? But this is what we gotta do. This is what we gotta do. We gotta do this in order to be able to continue to be great. We gotta do this and have this approach each and every time we come to the markets. And we know that's whether we win or if we lose one in the markets. But overall, we want to be winners. So we have about 25 minutes until the market opens. And while we're doing that and we getting ourselves ready, first thing that we want to do is, like I said, we want to share out our live. So this morning, let's do that. Get the live shared out. All right, so we got the live shared out. Now, let's go ahead and hop into the charts and see what is happening, what is going on. The market is up this morning, right? So the market is up this morning. And as you can see, we are above midnight open. So does that mean we have an opportunity to be long today, or do we have or are we going to be short? It remains to be seen. So what we're going to do overall is take a look at the 1 hour, see where we are on the 1 hour, what we have going on. And as we can see on the 1 hour, we have our high here. We are trading a bit sideways on higher time frame. As we can see here, we are going a bit sideways on a higher time frame, but overall in the trend we're in still a bullish trend. right? Overall, when you look at it. So if I were to just remove this out the way, pull this down to here. So overall, if I were to be a person who was taking a look at this, I would look at it from this standpoint here, that we are in a overall, this is kind of like an ascending channel, right? Overall. We're in this ascending channel, and in this ascending channel, right? That would be considered our high. In this ascending channel, we're trying to see if we can make it up to this high level that is here, where we do have some relative equal highs, right? There's relative equal highs that are here. We're gonna go ahead and mark that out, and I'm gonna put that in blue for us on today. Those relative equal highs that we have that is here, and I'm gonna stretch that out for us so we could get this straight. Boom, and go to our settings here, and we change that to blue. Mm-mm. All right, so we have relative equal highs here. Are we coming to take out these relative equal highs of what we have that are here? That is here. And that is what it's looking like on today, that we're coming to take out these relative equal highs. I don't know if that's going to be right at market open. I don't know if that's going to be later on throughout the day. I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is that we're going to be taking out these relative equal highs at some point. And so, how are y'all feeling, man? What is y'all bias on today? Those of you who are in the chat, go ahead and let me know right now what's your bias and how you feel based upon uh the market today. Me, I'm still feeling a bit bullish, you know. I'm still feeling a bit bullish. We took a trade on last night, and that was a great trade that we took on last night, right? We traded market open on last night. So those of you who had got an opportunity to be able to trade market open and you did fairly well within that, then congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. So let's take a look at MNQ and see what we have here. Same thing with MNQ too as well. You can see we traded within this. We're trading back into this 4-hour fair value gap that's here. So if we go to the 4-hour, the fair value gap that's here within the 4-hour, you can see that we're trading back into that zone and that area that is right here. And so this here, we're trading back into that. So do we trade back into this to be able to come and take this high that's here? It remains to be seen, right? Same thing. So when you take a look at ES, you can kind of see that from ES, right? Trading back into this fair value gap zone here. And you're looking to take out these relative equal highs like we talked about that are right here. So y'all see what I told you, y'all see what my bias is on today. I'm looking forward to, I'm still being a little bit open. I still want to be a little bit open. And the only reason why is because I still believe and think of, hey man, it could be possible opportunity here for shorts if shorts do present themselves, right? Like we don't want to keep ourselves in a box to where we miss out on opportunities. I don't want to miss out on no opportunities whatsoever. no opportunities whatsoever. So let's see. All right. Now let's one last thing that we have to do. Hold on 1 second while I get to that. One last thing. Okay. So right now, what we could see, let's tap into it. Now that we have everything shared out the way that we want it. So we're going to remove this parallel channel of what we know that we're in. And we're going to drop down to a lower time frame. We're going to drop down to the 5 minute, right? Real quick, I want to drop down to the 5 minute chart. And when I look at this on the 5 minute, right? Let's reduce some of these things down. Let's reduce this down. Let's reduce down previous day high. Let's locate it right here. Take all this back equal. And same thing for, let's say at midnight open. We could come relative about right here. All right. So we see we have a bullish, we're in a bullish orb. That's what's happening and taking place right now. I believe our equilibrium will be somewhere right up in this area. So with price taking off the way that it is, could we come back um, and have a retrace at market open? But we want to see how market open plays itself before we make any choices and decisions prior to us engaging into the markets. We know that we want to engage without rushing first and foremost. We don't want to rush into anything at all. But this is a good day, man. Overall, man, let's just take a look at real quick of what we have. We see silver still trading at $59. Um, when you look at it on a higher time frame, we could go to the daily with silver to see what we have with silver. So you can see we still have some of the same things, right? We broke support here on silver, overall strong support level. We broke that on silver and it's coming back to retest this area. And what was once resistance, what was once support can become resistance. And we can continue to lose that and silver can come on down all the way to about $45 and what we could see possibly with silver, right? Uh if we go and we take a look at, let's take a look at gold. Same thing for gold, right? Gold lost support and it's stuck within this area of what seems to be resistance, which seems to be resistance. So we could take this and move this over a little bit here. This is an area that was very significant of where it lost support. So when you lose support in areas that are like this is, you know, this is where it becomes a lot tricky. And so what you can see is you lose support there and it can come and take out sell side, which could take gold to 32.93. If this does not hold and it doesn't reclaim support here, in which it looked like it has failed, it can come back and take out sell side, which is at 3,292. All right. So we have that for gold. Let's take a look at MYM. We can still see MYM on an uptrend on this morning too as well. We could drop down to the 15-minute to be able to get a better idea as to what is happening with MYM. And we could see a little bit of bullishness. Obviously, this is still going sideways with a lot of consolidation of what has happened here within all of this here. So that's very interesting to be able to look at, right? Let's look at the Russell 2000, same thing on Russell. But you have some nice moves that done happened and took place on Russell, right? But overall, in Russell, what do we see? you see somewhat of a trend, same exact thing of what we talked about here. Still trading within this channel here, right? Still trading. So it's above this equilibrium part. And then you can see right here is where it's finding some key level of support that's right there. So we see that on the Russell. And then let's take a look at oil. Oil too as well. Oil has been going through it, y'all. Oil has been going through it. It has broke below the 50% level and it's trading below the 618. I mean, oil is literally in a short right now. It has to reclaim the 618 and the 50% level in order for it to be back bullish. It has to be above the 50% in order to be back bullish. But same thing for oil. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin and what we have that's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still at around 60K. And Bitcoin, it had a nice little small rally, right? But it did see over this past weekend a low of about 58,760. 58,760 was about the low. 59,000, I'm sorry, 59,170 was the low for Bitcoin. So that means Bitcoin, is it losing exhaustion? No, I think it's going to accelerate even more on Bitcoin. So that remains to be seen. You might get a small pump, but in what we would consider a relief rally, right? But I do believe that it still has some downward continuation. So we saw the same thing with silver. We saw the same thing with gold. With silver, we lose a significant level of support, like we said earlier. And we want to keep our eyes on this. And the reason why is because if you go back to the newsletter of what I gave out last week, what was the most important thing that I talked about? The most important thing that I talked about that was playing a factor into our precious metals, our indices, our bonds, and everything was what? It was the dollar, right? So when the dollar went to trade up to here to take on these relative equal highs that is here with the dollar, right? It came and approached the same high that was back in May of 2025. It approached this same high. And once it approached that same high, what did it do? It had a pullback. So until we find some structure and we break through this area here with the dollar, because the dollar is showing itself strong. If you didn't get an opportunity to be able to watch the video of what we talked about on the dollar, you should go and look at it. And in that video, I talked about the dollar is king. I talked about the dollar being king. Most people are not going to apply anything to the dollar whatsoever, and those are the people who lose in trades. Those are the people who lose in trades. So what happens here is going to affect things for long term. Okay? Long term. All right. So let's go back to ES. We're gonna keep our eyes focused on the dollar because that's an that's very important for us. That's gonna be very important for us. So you can see we're having a pullback here. If you drop down to a lower time frame on the 5 minute, you can see that we're stuck within this box in this range right here. We take it to the 1 minute, you'll be able to see that there's an actively short that is happening and taking place right now, right? So can we get a pull back to midnight open, get that retracement of what we're looking for? And one way we could do that is by taking this swing low, going up to this swing high that's here, right? We got relative equal highs that are right here across the board. And we get a pullback here for an entry at 74.59. That to me could be a possibility of an entry on that. So until this high is taken out, we're going to hold this here to see what happens and what takes place. But in the meantime, in between time, right? In the meantime, in between time, I have something for us. And then I got to go get my coffee. I haven't had my coffee yet this morning. And so I'm going to get some jazz going for us. We got about 7 minutes until the market open. That gives me a little time to go and get some coffee. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. And look at that pullback. 100% retracement on the 1 minute when it comes to that. So maybe the market is pulling itself back. To be able to give us that opportunity for loans. Let's see if it pulls itself back to midnight open. We have about 3 minutes. So I had to go and get my coffee this morning, y'all. We started our stream without our iced coffee. As you can see, this thing is really good. So, look at the reaction of what it had on this sweep of liquidity here. It broke through this, which made this become invalid at that point. When we go to our swing low, created a new low, a lower low, right? So it could be trending down with creating that new lower low that's there. So we're going to remain patient. To see how this plans itself out. So our newsletter, though, is going to be released today. We will be releasing our weekly newsletter. And so look out for that today. Oh, and how many of you saw our last video where we talked about the market is now open? In our last video, we talked about, remember that I was going to share with you all some of those things that were very important as it pertains to savings, how you save your money, the things that you have to do in order to be able to put in place so that you can be able to create that $1,000 buffer. Look at the market this morning. It literally just decided to dump so far on this morning. Look at the reaction after it took out midnight open. Well, let's see if we can go ahead and get open up a different tab here. So that we can be ready to trade. For some reason, I don't know how I hold on 1 second. Yeah, I don't know, for 1 second, I don't know how. Oh wow. I think I'm still going to be patient right here, chat. I'm not going to fully engage, but that sweep back to midnight open, it's interesting to me. very interesting. For it to come down here to sweep this low and sweep below midnight open, and it got that reaction. Is this that early move? Still a little bit early for us. For me to decide on that. So we're just going to be patient, sit on our hands. It would have been nice to catch this move, but I don't think this is the necessary move of what we want exactly. So we're just going to still continue to be patient. So you take out the low at midnight open, you come back, reclaim previous day high, and then the market starts trending, moving forward, moving upward, right? Which is beautiful to see. We're just going to be patient a little bit to wait. In the meantime, though, I was trying to get my add-ons active. See if I can get into my trader bay here. There we go. We're logged in. All right, so we see a pullback now happening. And what we could do, we could go here at a sweep of the low of what we had here. If this is continuation of that, then we could be a part of that. But you can see why we didn't engage. We're just not engaging as of yet. If we do engage, 74.54 does look like a strong area for continuation, but if we're long, I need a displacement above this level here at 74.74. If I could get displacement above 74.74, then I'm long. With the market pulling itself back with where it is, back to previous day high, then I'm just still going to be a little bit patient. I'm glad we didn't engage into that because that move looked like it can just retrace 100%. And so us not engaging early, you know, and still just being a little bit patient, I think it's going to pay off for us. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay itself off. But look at that reaction though here. If you drop down to the 1 minute, you can see the reaction off of that fair value gap. That's here. Right? You see that? You got that reaction off of the gap that's there. Let's see if it takes this out completely and break this order block here and continue on down lower. If that is the case, then we may be looking for shorts. We may be looking for shorts. Here, I'm gonna pull up chat here. In the event but look at the reaction off of this fair value gap here. Price did pull back into this zone. But I still think that it's still a little bit too early to engage. I would just be a little bit patient. That's a good strong way to reclaim that and still try to remain a little bit bullish in a sense. Because if we did want to take entry there, right? We could have taken entry once price came back, revisited this fair value gap that was here. And then the reaction off of it could have led us to be a little bit bullish. But I mean, I'm still not keen on that yet because I'm still looking for something that is overall this, and this. But maybe the manipulation came with the sweep of midnight open and then taking us higher on a continuation. And so we could have looked for OTE in order to be able to get back into the trade in this area of this fair value gap. Possibly could have been giving us that, but we'll see if this fails at the high here. If it fails at the high here, then obviously we'll be looking for shorts. But if it reclaims this high, it gives us a fair value gap, then obviously we'll be looking to be able to take this on to continuation, to take out these relative equal highs of what we have here that is sitting at this blue mark of what I have that is right here. So if we were to take that, it could look something that's just like this. with a trade coming right to those relative equal highs there. Go to the 15-minute. Looking mighty strong on the 15-minute. Very bullish on the 15-minute. So let's see. We might want to possibly engage here. But I just still want to be a little bit patient, man. It's just something about waiting and not being in such a hurry to FOMO in. But like we said, we talked about what it is that we wanted. And if we could get we kind of have it here with a break above this level. And we said we wanted to go long here. So it's a little tough. It's a little tough.
Order filled.
If this was to play itself out exactly kind of how I want it, I will add to my position here. But it'll be based solely off of the strength of this move. Off the strength of this move here. I think I'm going to add to my position here.
Order filled.
Place my stop here. I really love the bullish momentum it is of what we're having here. What I like to see is expansion above this area here, taking out these relative equal highs that are here. Once we take out these relative equal highs that are here, then we'll look to be able to pull back a little bit and scale down off of a contract. But then again, we may be able to add once more to our position of what's here. Let's just see. Let's just be patient though and see. I'm not sure. We're pulling back. It's just these relative equal highs that are here give some form of liquidity that's there, and we could get a sweep there. that's kind of like what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a sweep here above these equal highs, and then we possibly get around 10 o'clock, maybe Judas swing. I think perhaps that entry we could have entered right once it swept midnight open, and we could have got in right at previous day high. That would have been a nice solid entry for us to be able to get to engage in. So we're going solely based off of us and our viewpoint. Oh, my yard man's here. Say hello to Mr. Joe this morning. So we're being a little bit patient. As you can see on the 1 hour, we're still pumping above on that 1 hour. Now what we could possibly look to for a full TP, if we remain bullish on today, is I'm liking us to possibly come, and it just remains to be seen. It's just us exercising a level of patience here. But I would like to see us take out this lower high that was here around previous week high. If that could possibly happen. But before we could even get to that level up here, we gotta be able to catch.
Stop fill.
Obviously, we got wigged out, so. Let's see if see what is going on. As we drop down to lower time frame. Wow, look at that. We're not going to FOMO at all. I think I should have had a big enough stop loss. We may be able to get a re-entry here. Oh man, look, there was the re-entry there. Looking like it's catching rejection here, but this may be an opportunity for us to re-enter.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Let's see if we could fall below midnight open. You could possibly come back to equilibrium here. some profits.
Order filled.
Just locking in some profits here. And then just allow our runner to do his thing, right? Leave it to make money for ourselves. And we just securing some profits of this trade that's here. As we're continuing to go lower. So at this point, we'll modify this down to 1, hit confirm, and start locking in profits of what we have that are here. We could put our stop there and see if we can go below midnight open. We're now kind of in that entry zone that's here. But if we break through this and we continue lower and we retrace 100% of the move of what just happened here, then obviously I'm looking for us to take out these equal lows of what we have that are here. I mean, we trade back down to equilibrium that is down here, right? So it will be something of what we will hold. But so far, great job of trading on today. We did enter into our one move like earlier. We did have an initial bias on, and we ended up getting caught within the manipulation. We did, but being able to make that shift when we needed to and adapt to how the markets is moving within itself, it made it a lot easier for us. And I appreciate that more than anything. And that's what I call being able to pivot within the market based on what it is that the market presents itself with. So here is where you're starting to see a lot of that bullish momentum happen because of the order block that's there. You have a lot of orders that are there, right? Those orders did get taken out. But the sellers are in still strong, and they do hold control. So we're still a little bit patient with them in regards to that. My yard, man, is kind of loud. One thing though I can appreciate about Mr. Joe is that he's consistent, man. He's consistent. He's consistent with making sure that he gets the job done. He is consistent in that area, so I do appreciate him. So it's looking like we're staying above midnight open so far. I still want to hold this runner. to see what happens here. Are we accumulating orders if we drop down to lower time frame, like our 1 minute? We are accumulating in order to be able to continue down lower, or do we just go ahead and go on a V-shaped recovery aspect from this standpoint? My thing is that I don't like to leave money on the table when we have things that are like this, like happening, right? Because if I never, although we had took some profit, say for instance, if I never move my stop and I give everything back of what I could have possibly trailed and gained, I'm gonna have a problem with that. And usually sometimes in our trading, those are the things that happen, that sometimes when we are trading, we end up perhaps sometimes holding on to positions, and then when those positions start to breathe or retrace a little bit, we give back so much to the market. And I don't like being a person who gives back like that. So we see that bullish move retraced 100, almost 100%. So we're just going to continue to hold, and we're going lower. So as we continue to go lower, we're entering into that discount zone. And y'all remember that, well, we're at midnight open, right? If we crack below midnight open, then we will continue to hold on our position. There we go. Nice trade. So this was 100% retracement on this move here. We're now into that discount zone. When you look at it on the 15-minute, when we look at it on the 15-minute chart, we see ourselves back here where those buyers bought up again. It seems as if the same thing is happening here, but I believe we can continue to push lower. And perhaps draw to equilibrium here. So let's see. Let's drop that down to the 5. So earlier this morning when I was showing you that level of that retrace, right? I was showing you something that was centered and geared around we're really finna lock this in because of the momentum of what was given just now within this. beautiful trade on this morning. This is a beautiful trade this morning. I believe we trade back to equilibrium. So if you want to see the trade of what it is of what we've done, if you come here and you just go from our entry point being from here, our stop was right above this high that was here, and this is the move of what we got thus far. So we're still trading lower. And for full initial TP, we'll be coming back here to this 15-minute area in the zone of what I have here. So if you go to the 15-minute chart, that is an equilibrium. That is us coming back to finding balance, a structure. Okay, that's us coming back to find balance and structure. We may not make it there fully. We may get wicked out, but we've caught all of this move of what's here on our trade, and I'm very proud of that. So I consider that a W this morning. Beautiful way of starting the week. So that area of what we were looking for is around 74.20. 74.20. That's where our full TP will be. 74.20. I think we've done a great job of exercising patience. Like we talked about earlier, what was the main thing of what we was talking about? We was talking about having patience in a time of where the market can give that manipulation move of where you feel like I have to enter into the market. I have to FOMO into the market. But in all actuality, it's about you exercising a key level of patience that's there. And the more that you are patient, the more your opportunities present themselves, and you're able to take advantage of them in the market. Beautiful. Let's see if we could get full TP here. We're close to it. Close to it. We're definitely trailing this.
Order filled.
There we go. We got full TP right there this morning on a beautiful trade. Very beautiful trade. Beautiful day on today. That was a beautiful trade right there. Beautiful trade. Being able to eat that out of the market was amazing. And that shows a level of skill in my opinion. Us being able to eat that fully. So that was a beautiful trade, man. Beautiful trade. Those of you who want to see the executions on this trade to verify that we actually did the trade, give me 1 second. I could definitely pull that up for you, but that was a beautiful trade. So that is what I'm talking about. Now, and we're continuing to go even lower. We probably should have held this on all the way to discount, right? That would have been good to hold this on all the way to discount. But we got what we needed out of the markets. We're not going to FOMO at all, period. I'm appreciative towards it. There's one thing that I want to see. All right, so that puts us a little bit closer to our goal of what it is of what we wanted. If we were able to do the calculations on this trade, let's do that for a second. Very beautiful trade, man. 1 second, I had to turn the music down so we could get ready to do our calculations on this trade. And if we do oh, my bad. Okay. 509. Which is not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I like that. Okay. Alrighty. It's not bad. So our TP was very good. You can see we're consolidating a little bit in that area. Obviously, we could have held a little bit low to 74.09, but our number was 74.20, right? So at 74.20, that's when we took an exit right out of the trade. But beautiful trade on this morning. We took this live, and I'm appreciative. So thank you all for joining me on today. Those of you who were able to see us trade live, you was able to see that. Right there before your very eyes. We're going to be running a replay of this trade. So this trade will be posted tomorrow for those of you who are looking for a replay of the trade and what it is that we've done. And so, and we're going to continue to get better, and we will have these. So please be sure to check out here. I want to show you all something. Let's go to our YouTube channel real quick. Right. We could go to our YouTube channel real quick. There's some things that I want to show you all that you should go and take a look at that's on our channel. So if you come to our channel, there's some things that I want you to take a look at. If you missed this trade, you could go back and check out this trade. Nice trade on ES after DSY failed to take high. You could go back and watch that trade. That was a beautiful trade. We're going to have our $300 trade of what we made today. That trade is going to be on there. This video here, the dollar is king right now, and here's why. What we talked about earlier on today, we talked about the fact of why the dollar remains important and how can it apply to the trading of where we are right now currently within the market, and how I made a quick 600 trading ES futures today. We have that here too as well, so you'll be able to see that trade. And then somebody say, and then there's more. So you come here to our playlist of what it is of what we have, you can see our fast money fixes, right? And our highlights. Our fast money fix series will be continuing on today, and we'll also be continuing with how to invest, right? We will be continuing with how to invest. Those are important. Those are important. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. Go and take a look at these videos though. They're very, very, very informative, and you get to see us trade live. Our How to Invest Masterclass, which is free, we will be continuing with that too as well. I know our next segment coming up in our free investing masterclass video training is going to be on being able to locate particular investments. Once we're able to locate what those investments are, then we will look to see how can we invest and build long-term wealth within those. Okay, so that's going to be happening too as well. So as far as everything is concerned, we are putting ourselves in a great position to be able to continue with the momentum it is of what we have, to be able to continue to bring you nothing but value and to trade, right? That's why we're in this together, is to learn how to trade so that we could trade together, see things within the market, right, prior to, and continue to make things happen. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. We had a great day trading today, and I'll see you all tomorrow. It's your boy Jeremy. I'm signing out. Hold on. Now y'all know. Y'all know we just don't roll over like that real quick, right? We don't roll over like that real quick, because we do know that there's one thing that we know that keeps us connected and tight. And that one thing that keeps us connected and tight is making sure that if you have any questions, to hit me up and email me. I'm going to put my email in the chat. There's my email. If you have any questions as it pertains to trading, any questions as it pertains to the market itself, don't be afraid to hit me up. Okay? I appreciate you all. Now, it's your boy Jeremy, and I'm signing out. Peace.